All right, all right, all right. Welcome one, welcome all, welcome Casey. Welcome everyone to the Casey and Tyler Show, episode 22 already, my friend. Can't believe 22. That. That's crazy. We're almost to 30 already. Pretty straightforward Tuesday episode for you guys. Got a few major things in sports, and obviously we'll get right into our football recap for the weekend, and we got some college basketball to talk about too because we're officially a college basketball podcast.
College basketball is back. I know we said that, last week or 2 weeks ago, but college basketball is fucking back, folks.
Yeah, and it was
Fuck the NBA.
Two decent games that we're going to talk about for our local interest here. But other than that, Casey, anything you want to say before we get started?
Let's do this, folks.
Let's do it.
22.
Let's hop right into college basketball. We do not have a buzzer or a sound yet, but I'll do my best to find one. So let's go ahead and just leave some time.
Let's just do this one. College basketball.
All right,
let's do this.
I guess that's our college basketball.
No, we'll find one. That's just this episode, college basketball.
First game on the aircraft carrier. Michigan State takes on number 2 Gonzaga. It was on the USS Abraham Lincoln. Shout out to Abe Lincoln. Gonzaga goes on to win a very, very close game. Good basketball game. Gonzaga wins 64-63. State's got quite the test to start their season. They started off with number 2 Gonzaga, and then they go on to play number 4 Kentucky on Tuesday, and then 16 Villanova on Friday. Tough week.
Tough week. I mean, who knows how good Villanova is? Because Saturday, or it was over the weekend,
Tempo, right?
They lost to Tempo. I mean, Agito was on the road.
It was Friday because we watched that right after. I think that game came on before the Michigan game. We had to watch the end of that.
Yes,
isn't
right.
that right?
It was Friday night. It was right. Yep, it was right before that game that the Temple Villanova game was on.
Yeah, good game. I mean, it's really tough this early in the season to judge any of these teams. I mean, Michigan was ranked top 5 early in the year last year, and they stunk. So
right.
You got to take, especially college basketball, you got to take the rankings with a grain of salt because you could bring in a great recruiting class. Some of these kids are 17, 18 years old. They just may not get along. You know what I mean?
Look at Kentucky for all those years.
Yeah, I mean,
they were having all these
top class, and I think they've only won 2. You know what I mean? So
Kentucky should have multiple national championships in the last 20 years with Calipari, and they barely have any.
Well, then you go to a team like Villanova, who, yes, they recruit well, but they're not just getting 5-star one-and-done guys. They develop their talent, and that's what I love about college basketball is, if you have, in a like a Trey Burke for Michigan that one year, one player
guard
can make a
play
massive.
Matters.
Yes.
If you have a good big man and one really good guard and maybe an occasional just a guy that he can dish it out to and he can shoot the 3 ball. But if you have one really good guard, you're gonna run. You can win a lot of games in college basketball, and you can make a run in the tournament.
I was gonna say that
Kemba Walker.
Right. Well, exactly like that. So I was gonna use an example like Trey Burke, Kemba Walker that can literally will their team. But there are plenty of examples of a lot of small schools that are dominant in basketball because they play the game the right way.
Yes.
So, and that's why
that.
I think the NBA has become such a harsh product to watch because they don't play basketball like that. There's a lot of coaches that were we'll never go to the NBA because they're I can't, 1, deal with the egos, and 2, there is no team basketball being played. You know what I mean? So,
right.
That's college basketball is fun always fun
I love
to watch.
College basketball.
It's always, just I think when the Michigan State rivalry really got rejuvenated when they got Beeline, and seeing how packed Chrysler Arena or the Breslin Center get for those games is like, I mean, yeah, college football is great, but those games just, and their fans are right on top of you. I mean, college basketball, those environments are awesome.
See, it's like, I love college football. I think nothing will compare to like the environment of college football. Well,
yeah,
except for like the Premier League, like the Premier, like
right,
soccer
right.
over in Europe is it's
just different.
It's like trying to compare Alabama to Michigan.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, Alabama to like Eastern.
Yeah.
There.
Okay.
That's a better comparison.
I get what you're saying, though, but the environments are always great.
Yeah, no, it's just, I want to go to a game at Duke one day.
Yeah, those tickets are hard to get, man.
Those are hard to get, and they're fucking expensive.
Yeah, but it'd be fun. I mean, the thing is like, especially in basketball, the student sections can get a lot more creative because you can hear them. And in a football game, you're just making noise. And a bat like Duke will literally do like left, right when a guy fouls out and shit. Like that's. I mean, you hear it,
and it's like they're all in sync. It's crazy. Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah. So I'm like I said, we're excited that college basketball's back. Michigan State played really well. They look like they're going to be better than people gave them credit for. And obviously, this is a good thing. It really, how well you perform at the beginning of the year in college basketball doesn't really matter because once you get into the Big Ten, your schedule is difficult anyway. If you play well in the Big Ten, you'll probably get a bid into the tournament.
And it's one of those things that you just have to get hot late. Realistically, it doesn't matter how good you do during the regular season. It's not because you can still, it's not we have to hit a certain point to make the tournament. No, okay. You can do what UConn did back when they had Kimball Walker that one year. They were like one of the lower seeds in the Big East, and they ran through the Big East tournament, won the Big East tournament, and then they ran right through the NCAA tournament and won it that year.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to get hot late. Get hot late and you're good.
Yeah, and that's why I think like you're not really punished in college basketball for like you're almost the way it sets up, the season sets up. Teams are almost encouraged to play good teams in these out-of-conference games. I mean, like Michigan like goes to Hawaii or Maui and plays in a tournament every year, and there's usually like a Gonzaga or a Villanova there, and you can get some good stuff. You're not punished like you are in college football, where if you schedule two really tough out-of-conference games, and even if you lose both by just a touchdown, you're already out of the playoff before the season even started. So
you have a lot of time to recover. Just because think about it, like okay, well, Michigan State lost to Gonzaga. Say if they lose to Kentucky and lose to Villanova and they start 0-3, they can.
No one's going to remember that in January.
No, because if they get hot and they start and they have a run and those are their only 3 losses and they played those games tough, that's going to show up on their resume. Oh, they played number 4 Kentucky close. They played number 2 Gonzaga close. They played number 16 or wherever the hell they're going to be on by Friday.
I think it's a good gut punch for like think about how much confidence that gave Michigan State heading forward, knowing that they hung with Gonzaga and not just that like they weren't at the Breslin. I mean, they're at a neutral site, but not just any neutral site. Like there's a lot of pressure on that game, right? Like all eyes, you're prime time, you're on the USS Abe Lincoln, and like there's a lot of pressure to show up and play well, and they did more than that. I think the confidence for Izzo and that team have to be sky high after playing Gonzaga that good, a perennial national contender. I mean, they still got Drew Timme over there. I mean, he feels like he's been there for 10 years.
Well, I mean, you played a team that spread was at they probably don't talk about spreads, but spread was 11.5 of this game, and you lost by a point. It's one of those things that you played the number 2 team in the country, a team that is one of the, we'll say top 3, maybe 4 teams. I don't know the odds of of who's going to win it all for college basketball right now. But you're talking about one of those teams that is projected to be most likely a number 1 seed in that NCAA tournament, and you went and you lost to them by a point the first game of the year, and you were supposed to get the shit kicked out of.
Yeah, no, I thought State looked good. It was a great way. I know there had been a few games on before that, but that was a great way for me personally to start my college basketball season. Obviously, I'm a Michigan fan, but I love when State does well pretty much in anything as long as they're not playing Michigan. Just got too many friends that are supporters. So good for State. Happy that they kept it close with Gonzaga. And like we said, we'll see what happens tomorrow night with Kentucky and then Villanova Friday. But either way, it's fun when the Big Ten schedule gets rolling because especially in basketball, they just kick the shit out of each other throughout the regular season. Like it's always funny like when you hear like Jay Billis will cover like a Big Ten game and he goes, there's going to be a really good 10 or 12 loss team that comes out of the Big Ten, and they're all going to have about that because there's not one that typically stands head and shoulders above another. Like they're all really competitive games.
You might have like the one occasional team like when Wisconsin was when they had like Frank Kaminsky and all them, and they were making that run for that national championship. Like teams like that, you might have your occasional team that might they might jump to that next level, but it's like you can still beat them. Like Michigan State still played them tough. I think Michigan still played them tough, and all that. But it's like you have teams like Northwestern that. They're not the best team, but it's okay. Well, you play them on the road. You play them in Northwestern.
Well, Indiana's supposed to be good this year. Purdue, even though they lost,
really good.
Yeah, that probably them and Illinois are their favorites in the Big Ten. I'm pretty sure. So we'll see. I think I truly think that like Michigan has the talent to do it, but will they do it? State has the coaching to do it. Will they do it? And not saying State doesn't have the talent. I'm just naming what I think the strengths of the team are.
In years past, it's usually you have. If you think of a Michigan State team, like I do. They don't have any guard play.
Not this year.
I don't. I mean, the one dude that they had transfer, I always forget his name, from Northeastern. That dude sucks.
Billings, is it?
Hell no. If you say his name, Billings. I don't know it. Whoever,
Billingsley, something like that. I know who they talked about him.
Hauser's trash. He's horrible.
Leave Hauser alone.
I don't know. I'm over this team. I need a new wave of Michigan State players to come in.
You're over the team. We're one game in, and they just played the number 2 team in the country.
We'll see how they play.
That was a crazy shift in attitude right there. That was unbelievable.
Moving on before I get riled up.
Yeah, that's fine. Moving on. Eastern Michigan. Go ahead.
Moving on. Eastern Michigan plays number 22 Michigan. This game was at Little Caesars Arena in Detroit. Michigan wins a close one, 88-83. Emoni Bates balled out, 12 of 19, 3 of 6 from 3, 30 points, 5 rebounds.
Yeah, Monty played well. Just too little, too late. Towards the end there, Eastern led almost like probably most of the game. It was really tight the entire game. Like 2 points, 4 points back and forth. I think they had the lead with like 8 minutes left. Giving credit where credit's due. Eastern played well. Emoni played really well on a big stage. That's great. Michigan's got to make the free throws, man. What are we doing? I mean, Michigan was trying to lose this basketball game.
They were giving Eastern the game.
I mean, turnovers and not make your free throws. Like, there's nothing more frustrating as a fan, and I know I couldn't do it. You put me out there, pressure on, I'm probably missing the free throws. I'm also not a collegiate basketball player. This isn't my fucking job. So
they're kids, relax.
Well, regardless, if any of these assholes think that they're going to get to where they want to be under Juwan Howard, they need to start nut up and make them. All right, can't play Eastern Michigan.
When we're talking about college sports, if you start getting riled up, just think in your head, they're just kids.
Well, they're also making NIL money now, so I can bitch. So you want to take $1 million?
Fuck that. You're right. Yeah. Fuck that. Fuck that. Make a fucking free throw.
Yeah, come on.
Every free throw you miss, you send me $1,000.
100, anything. At least make it worth it. Yeah. I do think the bigger story here isn't how poorly Michigan played or what I think what Michigan season looks like going forward. Time will tell us that. I do think the bigger story here is Emoni. He didn't play in Eastern's first game due to a coach's decision. I don't know if that was just him not having enough conditioning time or time with the offense, or if something happened where there was a dispute at I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on it. He didn't play for whatever reason. The first game came out at LCA of all places. That was the big story there. I mean, the minute the game was over, no one cared that Michigan pulled it out. No one even cared that Eastern almost beat Michigan. ESPN, within 2 minutes of that game being final, had a 3-minute highlight clip of all Emoni Bates' points already ready.
It was insane. That was all over social media. Was Emoni Bates,
Twitter,
Emoni Bates.
Instagram,
Did you
ESPN.
see that three he hit at the top of the key? It was like, dude, it was at the logo.
Yeah, I know. He also had a 3-point attempt late in the game that would have tied it, and you could tell based on his body language he really wanted that to go in. We'll see. I don't know. I saw plenty of hate. Obviously Emoni can be he's polarizing. I mean, people hate watch him. There are a lot of people locally that want him to succeed, but I'd say there's a lot of people that also don't, are wishing for him not to succeed, or
it's like have
already stereotyped him as I don't know what the just not maybe being a great dude. I don't know Emoni personally. I do appreciate what he did for my high school, my alma mater, Lincoln. I brought him a state title. I think that we can criticize his track and maybe, the decisions that his team around him have made before he went to Memphis and then going to Memphis. But hopefully it works out at Eastern. Casey, I'm not sure if your camera's off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. You're good then. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah,
I just wasn't sure if you could hear me or not. Okay, that's fine. It says recording continues, live video return when their internet improves. So it's fine. It'll be good. Because I can hear you just fine. So.
That it about Emoni?
I mean, you said you saw the hate as well?
Yeah, no, I saw it. I saw the hate as well on social medias and all that. I mean, Emoni plays very, we'll say, clenched up, fist clenched up after everything, and people just
he plays with his heart on his sleeve.
Yeah, there was something that was funny. Like after he made a shot, he was like, "This is my city."
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like it. I like the energy he brings. I'm definitely dude. You got to stop doing that.
Do you think? I think it makes Eastern fun to watch because they have a prospect like Emoni on their team. Like otherwise, I wouldn't watch a minute of Eastern basketball. But if they're ever on TV again, I'll put them on just because I'm curious.
Right. Well,
you know what I mean?
I'm more willing to go to a game now. More willing to spend
for sure.
the $20-$30 to go to an Eastern
And
game.
they were giving away tickets. Kelsey sent me a text. They were giving away tickets. Oh, never mind. This is for the Eastern football game. My apologies. But, nothing more to say about that. We'll keep you guys posted on big college basketball news going forward. Let us get more into the swing of the season, and then maybe we'll talk about some other big matchups.
Well, I mean, we have college football, and we have football to talk about already. And it's one of those things where at the beginning of college football season, we talked about those bullshit games, but we don't really need to. We don't need to talk about and it's a lot harder because they play during the week. You know what I mean? Michigan State plays Tuesday, Friday, and then I don't think they play again until the next Tuesday. So it's like
Michigan doesn't play till Wednesday or Thursday. I don't think.
Yeah, they go Wednesday, Saturday. They go Pitt, and then they go Saturday against someone.
Yeah. So I guess just when the opportunity arises, we'll discuss, but we're not going to try to force anything,
Oh no, and it's like I'm not going to talk about Michigan State, Warford, or like when they play Northern.
No. I just meant if number 4 Kentucky gets upset by NC State, that might be worth mentioning.
Oh well, there was some upset. There were some upsets over the weekend. There was one yesterday. Let me pull it up. There was one yesterday.
Better podcast host than I am. I have no idea.
Colorado beat number 11 Tennessee.
Yeah.
78-66. I think that was in Tennessee. Nope, that was at an intersite. That was for a tournament. Yeah, Colorado won, and then
see, that's why basketball's crazy, man. You one player gets hot, then it's like, what the fuck?
Oh, dude, like the first game of the year, Arkansas Pine Bluff gave a ranked TCU a run for their money and almost beat them. And I heard Arkansas Pine Bluff is one of the worst teams in college basketball this year.
Did you see that Foster Lawyer went off?
Yeah, he's at Davidson, right?
Yeah. He's good. He's good.
No, yeah, well, yeah.
Dude, he went.
Not good
I think
at
he
his
scored.
top program.
I think he scored like almost 40. He's like,
Yeah,
dude.
no, he's good at Davidson. He's good at those smaller schools. He's just not good at Michigan State.
He
can't
can
play
be
big
like a
boy
guy like Duncan Robinson who can maybe carve out a nice role for himself in the NBA as a spot up shooter.
He's like what was his name?
Jim or Fredette.
Mac McQuaid, I think it was. Michigan State.
Played for Georgetown.
No.
I'm thinking of, you're talking about the guy that played for State.
Guy that played for State.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about
You're talking about the dude
the
that can
short
dunk.
white guard.
Yeah, that can dunk. Yeah. No, fuck that guy.
His name is Matt Mick something, I think.
Yeah.
Foster Lawyer might be able to. For those who don't know, Foster Lawyer was a 5-star recruit from Clarkston locally here in Michigan. Went to Michigan State, and whenever he got on the floor, he looked physically overmatched. I mean, he's a small dude. He's like my height. He might be taller than I, but he's like 5'10", short white guy. So
he's short. He's a small guard.
But now he's playing with some confidence over there at Davidson, and fuck, man, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah.
But
all right. We'll definitely talk about a lot more college basketball when we get later in the year. But it's just right now it's football season, and we're towards the end of the football season, and there's a lot more bigger games. So I would rather talk about that instead of a bullshit college basketball game.
Yep.
But moving on, let's get to college football week 11. All right, folks. First game on the sheet. Rutgers at Michigan State. Michigan State wins 27-21. Rutgers has a disgusting, absolutely disgusting backdoor cover. Stop doing that. I see that. This was, I'm glad I didn't bet this game because I would have been so pissed off. This is a horrible beat. I'm sorry for anyone that had Michigan State -10. It is 4th and 29 with 50 seconds left. Rutgers throws a Hail Mary down the field. Receiver catches it in double coverage, scores a touchdown. Rutgers covers the 10 points that they were given.
Yeah, horrible beat, great backdoor cover. I think I took Rutgers +10 on the pod last week. That's just a tough way. I mean, State still gets it done. Who cares? I thought the points.
Who wins in a row?
I thought the points were too much anyway. I don't think Rutgers is that bad, but good for State. Found a way to win. They didn't cover, but they still found a way to win. Did the over hit in this one?
I
have to go back to last
I think so. I
week's
think it
show
was like
sheet.
44.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I was like, I could see the over hit in here.
I'm looking. I think it was 44.
I'm checking right now. It was
41. Yeah,
41. So
41.
Yeah. So that's good. Over hit. State, like you said, 2 wins in a row. Hopefully they can continue to lock it in. I got nothing else for that game though.
Yeah, neither do I. I didn't watch it. Nebraska heads to Ann Arbor and plays number 3 Michigan. Michigan barely covers and wins 34-3. I said barely covered. I didn't say barely won. I said barely covered.
They kicked the shit out of Nebraska.
They pushed. It was 31. They pushed. Pushed. They don't cover spreads. They push them or lose them. But Michigan gets it done and wins 34-3.
That was freezing, dude. That's the coldest I've ever been watching a football game.
Yeah, you probably.
And that's why I don't do shit like that outside. It's not fun. I didn't enjoy it. It was fun to tailgate. The minute we got in the stadium, you're just sitting there. I was a little buzzed up.
Wear?
I had 4 layers on and my winter coat. My feet were soaked. It was the footwear. I didn't wear the right shoes. And so my feet were absolutely frozen.
That was where you messed up.
I could have toughed it out otherwise, but literally we got to halftime, and I knew like the group I was with was going to stay, and I already had the ride that was going to pick me up was already in Ann Arbor for something else, and rather make her come back to get me, I was like, I'm good at halftime. I mean, I knew they were going to kick the shit out of them
right,
in the
yeah,
second
yeah,
half
there was
anyway.
no point.
I was so cold, Casey, like miserable. And the thing was, I just wanted to get up walking around because the more I sat there, my legs got, dude. And I know I sound like an old man, but
I know how you feel.
I don't like being cold. I'm not a cold guy, so
when
it sucks.
Me and my dad went to the Notre Dame game last year. It was like their last game of the year. Dude, it was like 20 degrees outside. I mean, it wasn't snowing or like raining like it was with
that
you.
was the problem. We had snow, and then it came into this like mix
like
of snow and rain. Yeah, and I fucked up. I wore my Yeezys, and like because
should have wore boots.
Just should have shucked it up and wore boots. I was like, oh, I want my feet to be comfortable. I didn't even think like I thought of everything else: gloves, hat, everything besides my feet, and that was the worst part. Like I would have rather not have had gloves because I could put them in my pockets. Than like my feet. Dude, my feet were chalked. It sucked.
No, but dude, it sucks. You're just sitting there, like you said, and it's like you're just sitting there shaking your ass, like shivering, because it's so cold and like you can't even enjoy the game. Like I looked at my dad at one point. I'm like, okay, like these guys are kicking the shit out of him. Like you ready? And he was like, yeah. I was like, okay, let's go. And then me and him left. I mean, it was not fun. I did not. Being at games like that is not fun, but it is what it is. I mean, it depends. I mean, I would love to go to like a Bills playoff game when it's that cold because I think that would be fun. Because
I prepare for it, and one, it's just it's just different. We're playing Nebraska. I don't if that was Ohio State, I would never even thought about leaving.
It's a different game.
It's like even a Bills playoff game. Like, cool, I'm there, no problem. But it was primarily and partially my fault. I will say, like, definitely needed to consider.
No, it wasn't
taking care of the honkers.
Whoa! Let's back this up 5 seconds. You said partially your fault.
I said it was. I said it was primarily and partially my fault. Primarily my fault for not bringing correct footwear, but partially my fault because I can't control the fucking weather either.
No, 100% your fault. Because you should have.
Even if I thought about it though, my feet could have still been cold and I still could have left. I mean,
well, yeah, like, but
it doesn't. Regardless, I don't like being cold. Yeah, I don't like being cold. I would rather. I would have enjoyed. It was great seeing friends and like people I consider family. That was awesome. But I will say that I would have had just as much fun watching that at home with fireplace on. To be completely honest. I do have a funny tidbit. We had some Nebraska fans behind us, and we got into our seats, and they were kind of jokingly running their mouth. So I kind of turned around with like that sly smile on my face, and I was, like I said, I was buzzed up. And I said, "So what are you hoping for this game?" The guy goes, "Buddy, I'm hoping for more than one first down." And I laughed so fucking hard. I was like, God, that would suck to be a Nebraska fan right now. Like, he's like, I just hope we get more than one first down. And he was serious. He was like, if we do that, I'm happy. And I'm like, dude, you guys don't suck that bad. Once again, Michigan plays it way too close to the vest. First half, come out, second half, kick the shit out of them. That's just been kind of the story of Michigan.
Barely covered. Moving on, number 9, Alabama heads to number 11, Ole Miss. Bama gets it done, wins 30 to 24. Alabama, I mean, it looked like Ole Miss was going to run away with it at the beginning of the game. They were dominating. And then Bama has a huge touchdown late in the second half to bring it to 17-14 at halftime. I thought that was a huge part of the game that gave momentum to Alabama to make them have a better second half and then end up winning that game late. I felt like that was a huge touchdown in the second quarter.
Yeah, I mean, you go into halftime, right, thinking
instead of going down 10, you're going down 3 at that point.
Yeah, basically a tied game at half versus like, holy shit, if we don't figure it out, we're dropping another one.
Yes.
I agree. Momentum's everything. You go into halftime, and instead of your individual meetings, like your coaches' meetings with your players, positioning groups, Instead of them being like, if we don't do this, this, and this, it's, hey, we did this right. If we just fix this, we'll be good.
Yep.
It was a good game. Like we said, Kiffin always plays Saban relatively close. Ole Miss covered. They had a chance. Second half wasn't great watch by any means. But we'll see. I mean, this is kind of exactly how I think we both thought this game was going to go. Close.
Oh, so did I. I mean, honestly, I thought Ole Miss was going to win this game at some point because, I mean, I'm looking up his name right now because this dude went off.
This is for Bama?
Yes. Malik Heath, receiver for Ole Miss. Dude, they couldn't stop him. Every time he got put, I don't know the Bama's corner, but every time he was on his side, I don't think it was whoever number 3 is on Bama's defense.
Okay.
So every time he was lined up on his side, dude, Ole Miss's quarterback,
Jackson Dart.
Jackson, dude, that's a phenomenal quarterback name.
Yeah, it is.
Phenomenal quarterback name. Jackson Dart would pretty much go to him, and he would catch the ball. I mean, the dude could not stop him.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, Bama's still out. Ole Miss. We'll see if Lane Kiffin's even there after this year.
What do you mean? Where's he gonna go? Oh, he'll
sources,
still be
dude.
There. He'll still be there. Moving on, number 22, Washington heads to number 6, Oregon. Washington gets it done and wins 37-34. This was a great game. I was kind of
tough week for the Pac-12.
Yes, it was. You just had two. What was it? That's one team or two teams knocked out.
UCLA lost too.
Yes, that's 2 teams. Yep, I was thinking about bringing them in the show sheet because Arizona dominated that game from beginning until end. Like,
yeah,
Arizona jumped to an early 14-0 lead and then just didn't look back.
I said it, like I should have taken Arizona plus 20 because I literally said before that game, I said Arizona's offense is nothing to snooze about. And I said if they get hot, UCLA's going to struggle to keep up, and and
it happened. So that's 2 teams in the Pac-12 that are definitely knocked out of playoff contention. USC is their only opportunity, but Washington, like I said, Washington got it done and wins. I didn't really. I was back between this one and the TCU Texas game. Washington gets it done. I have nothing else to say about it.
Under, damn, it was the under, huh? Or was that the over?
Under hit. It was like 72.5. It was 72.5.
So very close to hitting.
It was close. Yeah. Like one more TD.
Yeah. Good game, like you said. I think I like the bigger impact is a great game to watch if you're able to watch it. The bigger impact is on the college football playoff. Oregon is now out. Like you said, Pac-12, USC is their only chance.
Yep. Last game of the college football. Number 4 TCU heads to Austin and plays Texas. TCU gets it fucking done. Gets it done. Only time you'll ever see me doing this because I'm kind of a Texas fan. Fuck Texas. Let's go, Horned Frogs. TCU wins 17-10. This was a boring-ass game, dude. I fell asleep so many times during this game. I was up until like 3 or 4 a.m. because I fell asleep like 3 to 5 times during this game.
Yeah, I didn't think it was all that boring. And I think that the reason why I don't think it was boring is because I was rooting so hard for Texas to win because fuck TCU that like even when it was boring, like in hindsight, I think I was so focused on like, oh no, they're only down a little bit. Like it's not that bad.
Dude,
like so,
quarterback play was atrocious.
It was really bad.
Oh my god,
it was really
like
bad.
Me and you could have been out there and done that.
It wasn't great. TCU wins another close one, man. I mean that's a big win for that program, especially
especially because I think
I'll tell you this.
Baylor next, and Baylor's like fell down the last couple of weeks.
Yeah. I think they got Baylor next, and then they finish out.
So
that's
it.
A
cakewalk to end the season.
I think isn't Baylor Isn't Baylor their last one? No, they got one more after that.
Iowa State. They go
Iowa
at
State.
Baylor, then they go home against Iowa State. Then they'll play in the Big 12 championship game against.
There isn't a Big 12 championship.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, is there?
There is. It's on their schedule. It says TBD. They're in it automatically. It's up between Kansas State, Oklahoma State. I would say Baylor and Texas are still in the mix, but Kansas State and Oklahoma State are sitting at. Oh no, it's probably gonna be Kansas. I was looking at overall record. Most likely Kansas State. They're sitting at 5-2 right now. So probably a Kansas State TCU Big 12 championship game.
Oh, so they started this last year.
Yeah, it's Saturday at 12, December 3rd.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. Whatever two teams finish their regular season with the highest winning percentage in conference games.
Yeah. So TCU automatically has that because they're 7.
Oh, good for them. I mean, if they finish out, they'll be in. They just gotta win their games.
Well, it's one of those things. If a Power 5 team finishes undefeated, they're gonna get in. The only team that doesn't is Notre Dame because they don't have that extra game at the end of the year that solidifies them in. But I mean, it depends on what happens to the other teams up there.
Yeah, no, good big win for the Horned Frogs. They get it done. Defense looked really good. They were able to bottle up Bijan Robinson for as much as they could. I mean, he's as good of a college running back as you're going to find. So big program win heading down to Austin and getting that one done. That's huge.
Right. Moving on, NFL Week 10. All right, let's get into it. Banger
NFL
of a
Week.
Game.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying NFL Week 10 recap. Let's do it.
Sorry.
All right. No, you're good.
Sorry, I'm so excited to talk about this.
This was a great game.
Phenomenal game. Game of the year. Most likely, I don't see any other game that can probably beat this until we hit the playoffs. We will see. There is a ton of football left in the NFL season.
Yeah, I can't think of one that's been better than this.
Oh, not so far. Game of the year. I'm talking about future. There's a ton of football left.
I know. I'm just saying up until this point, what other games?
No other games.
Yeah, I don't think there's been any that are
close to this.
The wild game.
The Minnesota Vikings head to Buffalo and play the Bills. Vikings get it done. Like I said last week on the pod, win 33-30 in OT. Dude, I'm so mad that I should have rebet the game. So I bet Vikings Thursday. After the show, bet them Thursday. I got them at plus 143. Spread was at minus 3.5, I think it was.
Did you take the points or did you do money line?
Bet money line.
Okay.
Saturday goes by. Spread goes from 3 to 6.5 because Josh Allen is playing. Money line odds go up to plus 275. I got nervous. I was like, should I rebet it? I was like, I think they can still win. I was like, no, don't do it. I was like, that's crazy. Josh Allen is going to get it done. I still won. I still won the one bet I bet on Thursday, but I'm so pissed because
you could have double won.
Yeah, I could have double won, and I would have had him at plus 275 at that point.
Yeah, I mean, I would have hedged. It's like a self-hedge almost.
But it is what it is. This was two phenomenal catches.
Catch of the year, Justin Jefferson, probably.
And then Diggs with almost catch of the year. That catch late.
Jefferson's
in the
was
Look. I'm not comparing. I'm not like Jefferson's on a different level.
Diggs was a big catch.
Diggs was a nice catch, and then all of a sudden, fucking Jefferson said, "Hold my beer."
Well, how about that was. It's one of the better. I mean, you talk about letting one guy beat you. Jefferson can do that.
Oh, yeah,
like 100%. That was unbelievable.
Game was on the line. Like it was fourth down.
Not just that, but like they didn't. I mean, they're driving to have a chance to tie and or win the football game. You know what I mean? And
right.
They get down there. Kirk Cousins tries to sneak it in. He's short. The chances of the Vikings winning at that point were like 58%, 59%. Went all the way down to like less than 1%, and then the Bills fumble the snap and the Vikings get the ball back. You can't make this shit up. We were waiting to play Call of Duty together. I was like, I will be on after this game. I'm not. Yeah, I was like, I'm not. Yeah, I was like, I will not be on until this game's over. Like, I was like, yeah, it's gonna be a minute.
We're gonna have to wait
crazy.
a second. That was an insane game.
It was. Did you some other tidbits from this game? It didn't end up mattering, but on a crucial 4th down call, the refs fucked up. 12 men on the field for Buffalo. That would have given Vikings another advantage. Additionally, in overtime, Gabe Davis's catch was not a catch. The refs came out after the game and said that for a fact. They said, yeah, we should have reviewed it. And that led to Bill Belichick saying that they need to make some changes to the rules with 2 minutes left in the game because the coaches can't challenge. They can only come from above. He's like, we need to do something about that because why is something as pivotal as that catch that's so not clear? He didn't catch it in the middle of the field and run out of bounds. Why are we not taking the time to look that over real quick?
Right.
And I kind of agree with him because if that happened in the Super Bowl, people would be losing their minds.
Especially now that like sports betting or gambling is becoming legal in all these states, dude.
It's mainstream now. It's
you
part
have
of the broadcast.
All these people that have all this money on these games, and you're gonna have so many pissed off fucking people if that's the reason why their bet lost was because you blew. I mean, you have people that in Vegas that have always been betting. You've always had those people, but now it's across the entire country that you have people betting a lot of money on these games.
Right. No, I know it's crazy. And this is a good thing. If I was a youth football coach or a high school football coach, even a college coach, damn it, I would take the tape from the final 5 minutes of that game where the refs screwed up, not only with the 12 men on the field, but the catch, and then us not converting on 4th down, because it's like all these things can go against you, and if you persevere and just keep doing your job, we still give ourselves a chance to win the game. Yeah. So that's what I thought was so cool about it. It does feel like, there's some type of magic about this Vikings team because a lot of things are just happening to go their way. And you need some of that throughout the season to ultimately. You could be as good as you want. You need a little bit of luck and a little bit of fortune.
It reminds me of that Vikings team from a couple of years ago when they had the Super Bowl there.
Case Keenum's team.
Was it Case Keenum's team?
It was.
But yeah, no,
with the pass interference call against the Saints. Yeah.
Yes. So, I mean, that was they got lucky a lot. It's like the one touchdown to send them into the NFC Championship game. Dude, they got lucky.
That was crazy.
They got lucky. Diggs got so lucky to score. But yeah, the Vikings get it done. I think they are a threat in the NFL. They're one of those teams that can. This might be a Super Bowl matchup, honestly. Who else is coming out of the NFC?
Eagles.
Oh, I forgot about them. Yeah, I forgot about them.
Kirk Cousins got to prove it to me when it's not a 1:00 game. I think the Vikings are very good. I think they're very good. But they're going to have to put their money where their mouth is. When you have guys like Justin Jefferson on your team, anything can happen. So, the Vikings, like I said, I don't know. I think there's just something in the air around that team that is making, they're exceeding everyone's expectations, which is good. Now, we're at the point in the season now where you're not going to catch any more people by surprise, so they're going to have to bring it every week. But, yeah, they played really good football so far this year, for sure.
No, I agree. Moving on, our Detroit Lions head to Chicago and play the Bears. Lions get it done and win 31-30. It was a missed extra point, the Bears' last touchdown. I think Carlos Santos is his name. Missed the extra point. Lions
Bears
win.
kickers, man. Bears kickers.
Yep. See, it's like I hate rooting for the Lions to lose, but it's like right now, Lions are currently sitting at picks 8, and that is the Rams pick, not the Lions pick. That is the Rams pick, and they're sitting at pick number 11, and that is the Lions pick.
Yeah, my dad
You're not
said
getting a
something
quarterback
really.
with that.
I probably would take Will Anderson above any of the quarterbacks anyway. But my dad said something really interesting watching this game.
Will Anderson.
Isn't that his name?
Will Levis.
Who's the Anderson? The end.
Huh?
Who's the kid from Alabama? It's the end. Or linebacker.
Oh, I thought you were talking about a quarterback.
I said I'd take him over.
Will Anderson's going 1. You're not getting him at 8 or 9.
Regardless, I don't care about a quarterback is what I was saying. But anyway, watching this game, my dad said something very interesting, which I think, I got to take some pause and think about because he's been through this with the Lions many of times. And he said, screw the picks. I just want to watch them win. He goes, it's not fun to sit there on a Sunday and watch them lose. And yeah, I agree with him. I think practically it's like, fuck, man, if you're going to win 4 games, just win 2 so we can get the pick because we're not doing anything with 4 wins. I do want for MCDC, though, I like that he's showing that he can get it done because I don't necessarily think that we should just fire the guy if he doesn't win 6 games this year. MCDC now has as many divisional wins in his career as Matt Patricia did as the Lions coach for 3.5 seasons. So it's just been a bad run. I think the Lions, they're defensively, they're not there yet as a unit, and I think they got to get that done. Goff still stinks. Fucking Justin Fields was a beast in this game, man. I thought he played real well. It was my first chance to watch a full 60 minutes of him. And he's as elusive as a quarterback as I've seen in a long time. God, he's hard to tackle. And I don't know. It was a good game for the Lions. They got it done. Back-to-back wins. MCDC probably stepping up. It's definitely keeping people off his back as far as media is concerned with these 2 wins. But, yeah, it does suck now that they're sitting at 8 and 11. But the good thing is the Rams suck. And so even if the Lions continue to win and we can root against the Rams as well on Sunday, and then maybe we'll get a top 5 pick from them.
Right, yeah. We'll see. Oh, yeah, I had nothing else to say. I didn't watch the game. I said, fuck it, I'm watching Red Zone. I wasn't going to invest in the Lions.
Yeah, it was a great game. I watched the whole thing.
The Dallas Cowboys had the Green Bay and play the Packers. Packers get it done and win 31-28 in OT. Disappointing loss for the Cowboys. They were up 28-14 heading into the fourth quarter, and the Packers come back and win in OT. I think this was McCarthy's first game back in Green Bay. So
they had him and a bunch of other legends too. Like they invited like a bunch of former players and coaches from around that time period when they won that Super Bowl. So I think the Packers try to make it kind of like a welcome back, guys. We don't hate you type of thing,
Right.
Big win for the Packers. Matt LaFleur was emotional after, like, when talking with the press. He was, like, emotional about it. He's like, it's been a tough season, man. This is not how we wanted this year to go. And, like, you've said this on the podcast plenty of times, Casey. It's hard to win in the NFL. You grind out one like that against a good Dallas football team. Big win for the Packers. They're still in it. They're in second place in the NFC North. If they can rattle off 6 wins in their last 8 games or whatever it is, you just never know. You give yourself a chance. We'll see what happens. I don't know, man. Packers have dug themselves a grave. They have to play some really good football down the stretch if they want to give themselves a chance. But big win. McCarthy was super frustrated after the game. I heard his press conference this morning, and he was not happy with the choke job, the collapse, whatever you want to call it, down the stretch in that game there. So big win for the Packers, though. Big win for A-Raj. My dad hates him. I mean, B-Web says hates that guy, but he got it done.
He did get it done.
Should have put Cooper Rush in.
Jesus. Last game, the Indianapolis Colts head to Las Vegas and play the Raiders. Colts get it done and win 25-20. Jeff Saturday is undefeated as head coach. Good job. Proud of you.
Go, Jeff. Come on, Jeff.
He actually started Matty Ice, Ryan, and he had himself a decent game. 21 to 28, 222 yards, 1 TD, no interceptions. Also had 4 rushes, 38 yards, 1 rushing TD.
Yeah.
Colts get it done. Congratulations, Jeff Saturday, on being undefeated as head coach.
He's currently the best winning percentage in NFL history as head coach.
Good job.
Yeah. I don't know. I saw it today. I was trying to look it up before the show. I thought I liked it, but I didn't. Matt Ryan now has a longer rush attempt than like Alvin Kamara, Josh Allen, Saquon. Like it was like a list of like prominent runners in the NFL, and because of his one long run, he has like a longer rush than all of these guys. He had more rushing yards in that game than he did like in his last 6 years combined or something. Like, obviously we know Matt Ryan's no runner, but they might have to do that boot option a couple more times, man. Keep the defense on their toes. I mean, he looks fast.
Like you never know when Matty Ice is just gonna turn on the jets and run on you.
Yeah, I thought that was the right move as well, putting Matt Ryan back there. You traded for him. He's a pro's pro. I'm not saying Sam Elgin doesn't have it as a quarterback in the NFL, but that felt like a move that Frank Reich, the former coach, was like, hey, if anything's going to save my job, it's like I identified a young quarterback that's a good talent. And if they can say, if Sam Elgin would have played well down the stretch, he can then go to Jim Irsay, the owner, and be like, look, I found this guy, diamond in the rough. Like, we're good. I don't know. If I was Jeff Saturday, I think I would have done the same thing. Be like, Matt Ryan, are you healthy? Can you play? Yeah, okay, you're my quarterback. You're going to make less mistakes, so let's just go with you. Super happy for Jeff Saturday. I don't know why he got so much hate for taking that job. I mean, if anything, they should be dogging the person that hired him, not the person that took the job. He finds a way to get done, motivated those guys. They played hard. Also, comeback win as well. I mean, I think they were down in the fourth quarter. They played like a long pass to Paris Campbell over the middle for a touchdown. End up getting it done like some like later part in the fourth quarter. So
yeah,
really, really happy for Jeff Saturday. I mean, by all accounts, all the interviews I've seen, and obviously we've watched him on ESPN for years, seems to be a really solid dude, solid human. And one of my favorite clips of all time is him and Peyton Manning absolutely screaming at each other on the sidelines. Just football guys going at it. Love that.
So that's
of cool.
Football guy. Did you see James Franklin do 15 push-ups after he got a 15-yard penalty on himself?
Yeah, I did. Fuck James Franklin. He's so corny.
I love that. Football guy. Fucking, I would love my head coach to do that.
You know what?
Get a penalty on yourself, and you do say, fuck it, I'm dropping it. I'm doing 15 because that's how many yards I got.
Why don't you try beating a top 10 football program, and then your team won't give a fuck what you do? Do all the push-ups you want. You can't beat a big team on the road or at home. Penn State blows. James Franklin's a fraud.
Your team can't even cover. Shut up.
Undefeated, never lost.
Your team can't even cover.
Undefeated, never lost.
Your team can't even cover. Shut up.
Undefeated, never lost.
Your team can't even cover. Shut up. But that does it,
Bitch,
folks.
Penn State didn't cover.
That's our show. Fuck T-Web. Fuck T-Web.
Powered by Riverside.
Fuck T-Web.
Love you guys. Thanks for coming out. We'll see you guys on Friday. Big show this Thursday. And a pretty big announcement coming forward as well. So we'll see you guys soon.
Love you guys.